When black women sat down and made history, the Fort Devens Four. America was fighting World War II in the name of freedom and democracy. But in 1945, inside an army hospital in Massachusetts, four black women discovered that wearing the uniform did not guarantee them equality. The names were Mary Green, Anna Morrison, Johnnie Murphy, and Alice Young. They were members of the Women's Army Corps, WAC, part of a generation of black women who volunteered to serve their country despite serving in a segregated military. They expected opportunity. Army recruiting promoted hospital service as a path toward valuable technical and medical training. But at Lovell General Hospital at Fort Devens, Massachusetts, black WACs found themselves disproportionately assigned as hospital orderlies, laundering linens, emptying trash, scrubbing floors, and performing other menial duties, while white WACs advanced into skilled medical positions. The uniform was the same. The opportunity was not. March 9, 1945. They refused. After months of complaints failed to produce meaningful change, 54 black WACs refused to report to their hospital assignments on March 9, 1945. They gathered in their barracks to protest what they regarded as discriminatory treatment. Army authorities ordered them back to work and warned them about the consequences of disobedience. Most eventually returned, but four women remained firm: Mary Green, Anna Morrison, Johnnie Murphy, Alice Young. They were willing to face military prosecution rather than quietly accept what they believed was racial discrimination. The Army put them on trial. The four were court-martialed in March 1945 for refusing to obey orders. The prosecution treated the central question as military obedience. Had these soldiers received lawful orders, and had they deliberately refused them? The women attempted to make the larger issue impossible to ignore. Why were black WACs being concentrated in menial positions, while white WACs received opportunities for technical training? The Army maintained that race was not relevant to the offense for which they were being tried. Contemporary reporting recorded the trial judge advocate's position that the issue was whether the women had disobeyed a direct order. After a short proceeding, the four were convicted. Their punishment was severe: 1 year of confinement at hard labor and dishonorable discharge. Then Black America responded. The convictions transformed a military disciplinary case into a national civil rights controversy. The black press, civil rights organizations, black women's organizations, and other supporters rallied around the women. Thurgood Marshall, then a leading NAACP attorney and decades away from becoming the first black justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, announced his involvement in their appeal. The contradiction was becoming impossible to overlook. Black Americans were being asked to defend democracy overseas while confronting segregation and discrimination at home. Pressure mounted. The War Department ultimately dismissed the charges, revoked the sentences, and returned the women to duty. The National Park Service also records that some officers responsible for supervising the black WACs and handling their earlier complaints were removed. Why the mop matters. The mop was never simply a mop. It represented the door that remained closed. These women were not arguing that necessary work was beneath them. They were protesting a system in which race helped determine who received skilled opportunities and who remained concentrated in menial labor. That distinction matters. They had volunteered to serve. They wanted to contribute. They wanted training. They wanted the opportunities that military service had promised. And when those opportunities were distributed unequally, they challenged the institution while still wearing its uniform. The United States Armed Forces would remain officially segregated until President Harry S. Truman issued Executive Order 9981 in 1948. The Fort Devens women had taken their stand 3 years earlier. DTOA, Descendants of the Taken Ones. Remember their names: Mary Green, Anna Morrison, Johnnie Murphy, Alice Young. 4 black women entered the United States Army seeking the opportunity to serve their country and develop their abilities. When discrimination placed a mop where opportunity had been promised, they refused to remain silent. They sat down. The Army put them on trial. Black America stood behind them, and history remembers the Fort Devens 4. Closing. Anna Morrison, Mary Green, Alice Young, and Johnnie Murphy joined the Army for opportunity. But when the Army handed them mops, they sat down, and history had to stand up.